Hello, universe. Welcome to the most spectacular wrestling podcast you will find on the internet. You are listening to Tag Me In, Bro. I'm Joe Tantillo, and as always, I'm seated next to my terrific co-host, Taryn O'Connor. Say hi to the people, Taryn.
Hi to the people, Taryn.
If you're new to the show, the format is simple. Each week we discuss all the magnificent moments, turbulent times, and stunning surprises that professional wrestling has to offer.
So turn your radio up and your opinions down, because we've got some hot tags coming up NXT, which means next.
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
Hello once again, universe. It's the J-Lister, Joe Tantillo here, coming to you live as always from New York. If you live under a rock, then you don't know that the gauntlet has been thrown down. My brother John has challenged me this week for control of this here Raw podcast, and I have accepted. Well, I guess I issued the challenge, though I didn't know initially that he was going to demand control of this show, but I have no fear. He is completely mad with thinking he's this creative genius and all this nonsense, but I am going to beat him. My wrestling knowledge is superior, and I will continue bringing you what you love, that good content for your ear holes every week on this show. But it is going to be a prediction competition, me versus him. Whoever picks more winners for Hell in a Cell correctly gets this show, and if he loses, he is never, ever, ever allowed to come back to Tag Me In, Bro. So you're gonna want to be paying very close attention this weekend, because this is probably the most exciting thing that's ever happened, certainly to me on this podcast, and I would hope to you as well. Am I nervous? Absolutely not. I have nothing but confidence that I am going to win this, and that's because I just, I love wrestling. I just love it, and I think I just know it because I love it, and I've been watching for a long time, and I'm confident in my own abilities, and of course, I would never let you guys down by losing this competition. I know that you guys love what I bring to the table here on the show. You love the content, so I'm going to keep doing that for you, so have no fear. I have got your back on this one, and folks, because things like this happen, you don't want to miss out on 1 second of Tag Me In Bro content, so go on to Twitter right now at Tag Me In Bro and give us a follow. Hit that follow button, turn those notifications on, and you won't miss out on anything. Now, buckle in, because it is about to go down in a big way. Today, tomorrow, and every day, we are talking wrestling. First things first, we're going to cover that Raw rundown, get you the most important bits of last night's show. After that, we're going to go to our Hi to the People segment, like we always do, ask you a question, get your answer, and then maybe talk about some of the answers from the previous week. This week, I want to know, pure and simple, are you excited for Hell in a Cell, yes or no? After that, we're going to move on to our main event. No Indie Corner this week, sorry folks, but we did an extended one last week covering All In. Go check it out on iTunes. It was pretty good, and All In was a great show, so I'm sure there's something there for everyone. Anyway, that main event is going to be what's got me excited about All In. I'm sorry, not All In. What's got me excited about Hell in a Cell? A lot has me excited about All In. It was terrific. But what has me excited about Hell in a Cell coming up this weekend? So we're going to talk about that a lot more in the main event, but first things first, let's get to that Raw rundown.
Woo!
Here are the only 5 things you need to know about Monday Night Raw this past Monday. Number 5, Nikki Bella defeats Ruby Riott. Number 4, Finn Balor defeats Elias. Number 3, Big Dog Hunting. Number 2, Kevin Owens is back and possibly better. And, of course, number 1, Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre defeat the B-Team. Number 5, Nikki Bella defeats Ruby Riott in, another match where the Bellas were put over, younger and arguably better talented people. Nikki Bella won, climbing that road towards evolution, making sure that all these old stars are put front and center as they tend to do on Raw. Not my favorite moment in recent history. Number 4, Elias is defeated by Finn Balor. Elias was out doing some shenanigans, and Mick Foley came out to announce that he is going to be the special guest referee for Reigns vs. Strowman at Hell in a Cell, which was an awesome moment. Really gives some credence to that match. Then Finn Balor came out after Elias was disrespecting Foley, and Foley set up the match, and he got a much-needed win against Elias, and I really agree that Finn Balor needed this win after a couple losses recently. Not that they were particularly bad losses, but he's back on the winning track, and that is good. Number 3 is that there was some big dog hunting going on. Basically, Braun Strowman was out just trying to find Roman Reigns throughout the entirety of the show. Eventually, he brawled with Roman, and Roman Reigns put Strowman through the announcer's table, or like the floor. It was like the floor, actually. Basically, he Samoan dropped him through the floor. And it was kind of cool. And yeah, Roman versus Strowman has been good. Can't complain about that. But there's a lot of other stuff you can complain about on Raw. But I've enjoyed Roman Strowman, personally. That's me, finding the silver lining. I liked it. Up next is Kevin Owens is back. We talked about last week how he had quit, and then he was mysteriously back in a segment, and it was stupid. But basically, he came out and said that Baron Corbin said he can do whatever the hell he wants, whenever he wants. He is going to kick some ass, and he is going to take some names, and I think that it feels like he's getting back to his prize fighter gimmick, which is Best Owens. So hopefully that is a bright spot for the future, and we really, really would like to see the return of that really hardcore evil Kevin Owens that we had in NXT that made us love him so much. Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre defeat the B-Team is the number one thing on the list this week. It was the rematch for the Raw Tag Team Championships, and the McZiggler team has been just phenomenal recently. They've been doing everything right, in my opinion. Their storylines make sense. They're dominant. Drew McIntyre hasn't even sniffed being pinned yet. And Ziggler has already held the Intercontinental title in what was a very fun feud with Seth Rollins that produced some great matches. They're just on fire. They really can't do any wrong right now. But they got their rematch, swiftly defeated the B-Team, and then, importantly, Rollins and Ambrose assaulted them after the match. So that is leading to their new feud, and of course a fight at Hell in a Cell. So you basically got the big guys being Roman and Strowman going head to head, and then their little lackeys fighting each other, because as you know, and as we've said on this show many times, nobody ever is stronger than Roman. You can't do it. You can't make him look weak, because they won't do it, because he's the guy. And it's just the way it is, and I've come to accept it in my brainwashed capacity as a person who produces weekly content for the show. Eventually, you just have to learn to accept that Roman is the guy, and you have to find some things about him that you like, which I found a few. Not completely complaining here. A lot of people were really down on Raw this week. To be fair, it lacked a lot of structure, considering it was a go-home show. Should have followed more of a formula. It was a little bit chaotic and anarchic all over the place. But you know what? They got there. We're going home to Hell in a Cell. It's coming up, and that was Raw. It was not the best Raw. In fact, it was a very mediocre Raw at best, but I could see the moments they were trying to go for, but there's a lot going on right now. It's getting a little convoluted. You got Hell in a Cell, Super Showdown, and Evolution, all building their storylines all at the same time, not really any of them intertwined. You got male legends, female legends, current superstars, all kind of interacting. It's very hectic. They need to just, I think, put a pin in it and pause for a moment and ask themselves, where are they trying to go? But hopefully, once we get over this hump of these next couple of pay-per-views, Hell in a Cell I think is going to be good, then we will get on the road to Survivor Series, where typically things start to make a lot more sense, and you get that nice Survivor Series into Royal Rumble right into WrestleMania road. So we're coming to the end of summer wrestling, which is typically, in my opinion, the worst of the worst. But, we're almost there, folks. Just hold on, and I promise you the outlook will get brighter. But please let us know your thoughts on social media. And speaking of social media, it's time to say hi to the people. This week on Hi the People, we want to know, yes or no, are you excited for Hell in a Cell? Not the most complex question, but hey, they can't all be miraculous, groundbreaking things that really make you think. Sometimes we just want to know if you're keen for the show or not. So anyway, hit us up on Twitter, vote in that poll, use the hashtag #HotTag. You can vote on us, vote by using email, tagmeandbro@gmail.com. Nobody ever does, but hey, we got to put it out there every week anyway. Maybe your response will get read out on the show. Sometimes we read out some of our favorite responses. And speaking of favorite responses and past polls, let's talk about the results of last week's topic. We asked you, will the B-Team ever have another Raw Tag Team title run, or were they merely a transitional team? We had over 250 votes, and with 86% of the vote, you guys voted that they were a transitional team. So sorry to the 14% of you that said they would be future champs. Chris Smirkar at CSMirkar83 said, good poll question. Thank you, Chris. we put a lot of work into this, and I appreciate when people comment if they think it's a good poll. I really do. So that actually, it meant a lot. And now you're getting your name tweeted out in the tweet, and I hope that you get some new followers from that, because you're very thoughtful person. And then we've got Simba de Prodigy at OSO Simba 91, who said they are way too over to not be champions again. Normally I would agree with you in that being so over that they probably should be, but overness does not necessarily equal championship runs in WWE, as we have seen with Rusev Day and with the Fashion Police. And sometimes it happens with Slater and Rhino, but they were still pretty over by the end of their run, never got another tag team title run, so who knows. However, it is not beyond the realm of possibility, so we will see what happens. Can't wait to hear everybody's thoughts on this week's poll.
Bullet Club is fine.
Now let's take a spin to the Indie Corner. Alright, I know I said at the top of the show that there wasn't going to be an Indie Corner, but I had forgotten when I was recording that portion that this weekend, and I don't know how I could have forgotten it, but I've been working very hard recently, and just sometimes things slip. But anyway, this weekend is New Japan Pro Wrestling's Destruction in Hiroshima, and there is a huge IWGP Championship match, Kenny Omega versus Tomohiro Ishii, which is going to be ridiculous. The Stone Pitbull is out for blood. He performed amazingly in the G1. If you did not watch it, please go back and watch some of his matches. He was maybe my MVP. Every single match he wrestled I thought was fucking awesome. The dude is a legit badass. He's coming after Kenny. This one is going to be an instant classic, and we will be talking about it at length next week in the Indie Corner. So make sure you tune in, and honestly, very, very excited for this one. Good chance that it will be the best match of the weekend, even though you've got Hell in the Cell. But as you guys know, New Japan, well, if you don't watch, then you don't know. But if you do watch, you know, New Japan's been putting out some kick-ass content, especially in terms of match quality in recent times. So, yeah, get over there to New Japan World and check it out. We'll be talking about it next week. And now it's time for the main event. This week in the main event, I'm talking about pure and simple, why am I excited for Hell in a Cell, or rather, what has got me excited about the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view coming up on this Sunday. Well, there are a couple of things, actually, that I think look pretty good about this card. And for once, I get to talk about SmackDown stuff, which doesn't often happen on this show. But in a main event of this kind and caliber, I'm going to mention a couple of SmackDown things. So I'll start first and foremost with the stuff from Raw that has me excited. I am not going to lie to you. I am extremely, extremely excited for Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns. I know a lot of people don't like the way this feud has been built, but I personally have very much enjoyed it, as you know if you listen to the show every week. I know a lot of people have problems with Braun being a heel because Roman has to always be the face. Look, I get it. It is what it is, and normally that would annoy me, but I actually much prefer heel Braun, to be honest. This whole, whether heels are heels because they get booed, I don't know. I like when Braun is a villain. I like when he's evil, and I'm still going to cheer him because, I'm an adult male over the age of 25, so I cheer for heels quite often, even when they're doing bad things, because that's just kind of the way it is nowadays, and really how it's always been in the world of wrestling, so I don't know why we get into this big debate about, what makes a heel, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I like his heel actions, and I like that Roman had to get the Shield to help him out. I just think it's been good. I think it's a good Hell in a Cell fit, and I think it's going to be an absolutely brutal match. Roman usually works amazing matches with Braun. If you recall, their ambulance match was really good. They do good work together. They have chemistry, and I'm excited to see it. And I honestly think there's a chance that Braun's going to win. And I think if Braun wins, a lot of people's tunes about this entire pay-per-view is going to be changed, because there are a lot of you out there who want Braun Strowman to be the Universal Champion. I've seen the tweets, I've seen the comments. I know that you have that desire in your heart, and I think you may finally get it. You also, of course, have Drew and Dolph versus Dean and Seth for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Seth and Dean picking up right where they left off, trying to get those tag titles back. And you got Drew and Dolph, who have just been on an absolute frickin' tear. Watching these four superstars collide is going to be entertaining. Whether you like the storylines they are in or not, all four of these men, in my opinion, are very, very talented wrestlers, workers, characters. They might not be your favorites of all time. You might dislike one of them, but there has to be something in that foursome that you like. And if there is not, you're probably not watching WWE, and maybe not even listening to this podcast, although you should be listening to this podcast because we don't just talk about WWE, it's just the majority of what we talk about. But we're also new, so be prepared for us to expand into other things. Don't sleep on the non-WWE content because it's coming. It's coming. Give it time. Give it time. You also have Ronda Rousey versus Alexa Bliss. That doesn't really have me excited, to be honest, though. What has me excited about this match is that Alexa is going to lose, and then she will be out of the championship picture for hopefully a while, although she seems to always find her way back into it. Now, let me talk about the two matches that I am most excited for about Hell in a Cell, that being Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch for the SmackDown Women's Championship. That's the first one. So Becky is just my favorite. She's just the best. This is about to be a completely biased opinion here. Becky Lynch, regardless of whether she is portrayed as a heel or a face or whatever the corporation tells her to do, has done it exceptionally. She is one of the best female wrestlers, workers, characters on the show and in the business, in my opinion. She is so inherently likable that even when she is portrayed as a villain, you are still behind her, and whatever she is, it truly doesn't matter, because we are going to cheer for her and we are going to react for her in a positive way, and we will keep doing it. And regardless of whether or not they ever choose to put the title on her, the fact that she is in the main event and having matches is fine by me. She is getting, even by virtue of having these title matches, it's recognition that she is an elite talent. And this is just another situation where she's really gonna get to show off her skill. So yeah, I'm excited, pure and simple. I really hope Charlotte loses, and I have nothing against Charlotte. I think she's very talented. It's Becky's time. It was Becky's time at SummerSlam. It was the perfect babyface story. They squandered it. It's time to sack up and put the title on Becky, and long may she reign. But I think she's going to brutalize Charlotte in this match. I think this new, whatever, not super pure white meat babyface Becky, whatever this current incarnation of her is, regardless of the label they're trying to put on it, she's one tough SOB, and she's going to, quote, kick Charlotte's lass, or give her a lass kicking. Whatever lame thing they make her say. It's going to be good. I'm very excited for it. Not, however, as excited as I am for the match that should be in a cell, but is not, AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe, because I think, ladies and gentlemen, that Samoa Joe is going to capture the title finally, although the safe money is definitely on AJ. The safe money is on AJ retaining, because he's just been retaining left, right, and center. So in truth, when it comes to my official prediction, I will probably pick AJ. But I think that this could be it, when Samoa Joe finally becomes the absolute monster in charge of SmackDown Live. So maybe we'll have a monster in charge of SmackDown Live and a monster in charge over on Raw. Who knows? But it certainly got me excited. I know a lot of people are down on this pay-per-view because they just feel the storylines have been a bit convoluted and forced, and, not that many people like Roman, and, people want, Roman has been in the title picture for a very, very long time, and it is exhausting. But at least it's flipped now. He's the champion. Last time he was the champion, we got some really great matches, at least with the likes of AJ Styles, and which is his match against Seth as well was really good, and the Shield triple threat was really good. So I'm hoping that it's a continuation of that previous pattern, that we get some quality stuff once more. I'm looking forward to it. I always try to stay positive on this podcast. I tell you what I like, and I try to find something that I like out of every show and every card. And it's not always good, and you guys know. Sometimes I rant and sometimes I go off. But to be honest, my expectations aren't particularly high. I think baseline quality seems to be indicative of a show that's going to be decent, and we will just have to wait and see. So that's been the main event. That's why I'm excited for Hell in a Cell this week. Let me know why you're excited if you are, and if you're not, tell me why, and that's fine too. It truly doesn't matter to me whether you are or you aren't, as long as you find some wrestling this week to watch and enjoy, because that's what it's about. It's about enjoying exactly what you love, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day. So now we're going to finish the show the way that we do every week with our Stars of the Night.
You just made the list!
Here are our Stars of the Night for Monday Night Raw, September 10th, 2018 edition. Number 3, Dolphin Drew. They make the list again for, just continuing to be pretty freaking sweet. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Number 2 is Finn Balor. He got a really, really needed win this week in what was a good match with Elias. Very entertaining. I love the Demon. I love Finn the Man as well. He's a quality dude. And I hope someday he reigns supreme once again as Universal or WWE Champion, even Intercontinental Champion, hell, even Tag Team Champion. Put some gold on the man. He's great. And he's just so smiley. He's just so happy to be here, which I know they hate, but come on, look at him. Anyway, the number 1 star of the night was Mick Foley. It was my favorite thing that happened on Raw this week, and what was a pretty uneventful Raw. Mick got a big pop. He's going to be a big part of that Hell in a Cell match, and it's Mick freaking Foley. He's just great. Anyway, Mick Foley, thanks for showing up on Raw. You gave us a nice moment. You're the number 1 star. You deserve it. Folks, that'll do it for us here at Tag Me In Bro. Thank you very much for listening. Be sure to stay tuned to Twitter this weekend to see what happens between me versus my brother John in this prediction competition for control of this show. And don't forget that it's going to be Tommy versus Taryn for the Tag Me In Bro Championship. And you can check out their prediction episode, which is live now on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and all other places where we are found. Make sure to subscribe to us on all those things. Drop us a 5-star review as well. Helps us grow, helps us do more, and follow us on Twitter at Tag Me In Bro. Once we get to 10,000, we are making t-shirts, and we will be giving some away, so be sure to stay tuned here. But also, you'll be able to buy them. We will tell you where and when as soon as we hit 10,000. We are getting close. We're up to 9,600. So maybe you'll be the 10,000th if you're just listening now. Do it. Who knows? Maybe the 10,000th person is getting a free t-shirt. I'm not promising that, but anything can happen these days. Anyway, I have been Joe Tantillo. Thank you very much for listening, and I'm tagging out. Goodbye, universe.